Hello everyone, it's Meg, and today I'm going to be talking about some books that are at the top of my wish list that I want to read. There have been some books that have appeared on my radar lately that I've discovered just searching online or hearing from recommendations or new releases that are coming out that I really want to get to, and I am on a book buying ban at the moment when I'm filming this video because I am trying to get rid of my physical TBR because I'm not going to buy any more books until the reading rush in July, and kind of around my birthday. I'm not going to buy any books until July basically. So it gives me a chance to get this TBR down, but when I do, these are some books I definitely want to try and get to because they just sound so amazing. Some of them, like I said, are new releases. Some books are ones that I maybe heard about for a while but I'm just kind of really in the mood to read at the moment. And some are just books that aren't necessarily new releases, they're just ones that have come on my radar recently and I really want to read. So I'm going to talk to you guys about them today because I thought it'd be fun. And there are 9 books on this list and I'm very excited to talk to you about them. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first book on this list is The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley, and this is an adult contemporary, and I just found this randomly on Amazon. I think it's a fairly new release actually, and I'm going to read you the synopsis because it just sounds like a book that is right up my street. So the synopsis says, Julian Jessup is tired of hiding the deep loneliness he feels, so he begins the Authenticity Project, a small green notebook containing the truth about his life. Leaving the notebook on a table in his friendly neighbourhood cafe, Julian never expects Monica, the owner, to track him down after finding it, or that she'll be inspired to write down her own story. Little do they realise that such small acts of honesty hold the power to impact all those who discover the notebook and change their lives completely. And this just genuinely sounds like such a cute, wonderful, heartfelt, wholesome book. I don't think I've ever read anything quite like this before. I might have, just not off the top of my head. And I really want to get into more adult books, and this just seems like it's a book that's right up my street. I feel like it can be very good. I think the reviews are pretty good for it as well. It just seems so cool. So if you are also looking to read more adult, maybe check this book out because honestly it seems pretty cool and I definitely want to get to it at some point. The next book is one that I've had on my TBR for ages and I really want to try and finally get to it this year, and that is I Wish You All the Best by Mason Diva. And this is a book that has had a lot of love on BookTube. I have wanted to read it ever since it came out and I haven't yet. But the paperback is either out now or it's out very soon, and it's a very floppy paperback. So I'm going to be buying the paperback when I eventually get it. And I feel like most people know what this book is about. If not, all I know about this book is that it is about a main character who comes out as non-binary to his parents, and I think he gets kicked out. They get kicked out of their house, and then they meet this guy who at their school, and I think they strike up a friendship, and that's kind of all I know about it. That's all I need to know about it. I've never read a book with a non-binary main character before, so I feel like it's going to be a very interesting and educational read. I've heard so many good things about this book and I'm just really interested to read it. It's one of my top books of 2020 to read. I think a couple of the books on here are, but I'm just so excited to read this book. I will get to it this year. My mission is to read this book at some point this year, like I need to. Next up we have probably the most recent addition to this list, which is The Illumination of Ursula Flight by Anna Marie Crowhurst. And I literally heard about this book like earlier this week, maybe last week, when I was watching one of Shannon from 155 Books. One of her videos, I think she got it in a birthday book haul, and she told us what it was about, and it seems amazing and I want to read it. And it's a historical fiction from what I gather, and I don't know if there's a bit of magical realism in it, I'm not sure, but I'll read you like the first paragraph of the thing because it's kind of hard to explain. So it says, on the night of a bad luck comet, Ursula Flight has a difficult destiny written in the stars. Growing up with her father in the country, she is educated by a forward-thinking father who enables her to discover a love of reading, writing and astrology. Ursula dreams of becoming a famous playwright, but is devastated to learn she must instead fulfill her family's expectations to marry. Trapped and lost, Ursula plots her escape, but her freedom will come at a price. And I'm gonna not read all of the synopsis because it's kind of long, but this book sounds brilliant. It's kind of given me a mix of Dangerous Alliance and Under a Dancing Star vibes, just kind of meshing them together, and the fact that she wants to become a famous playwright, I just think that's so cool. I don't know whether there is a theatre, I have a feeling there is a theatre involved in this book at some point, obviously because she wants to be a playwright, and it just seems so good. Like, it sounds amazing because I'm not sure what era this book is set in. This is a 17th century coming of age tale, so it's set in the 17th century, so obviously this is a time where women don't have any rights and they don't have jobs, and it is just forbidden for the idea of somebody becoming a playwright, and I'm just so excited to read this book. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I found it on Shannon's channel. I love Shannon anyway, I love her videos, but this just seems like such a good book. I really hope she enjoys it, and I can't wait. Hopefully I can get my hands on it. Again, it's another book that has lots of good reviews on it, and yeah, I just need to read it. It's just a new one that sounds so cool and I need to read it. Next up we have Starfish by Akemi Dawn Bowman, and this is a book again that's been on my radar for a while, since like 2018 I think it's been on my radar for. I'm not sure how long it's been out for, but that it's one of the books I just had on my radar for a while and I've just never gotten to it. But Chloe from Books with Chloe did a reading vlog on it recently and she absolutely adored it. I hadn't heard much about this book, but from what I have heard it is very good, and I don't know much about it apart from the fact that it is about a main character who wants to study art, but I don't think her parents want her to. I think she has a very strict mother, and it deals, our main character has deals with anxiety, and I think, is there some sort of road trip in it? I'm not actually sure. I just know it deals with mental health and kind of art and all that sort of thing. Kind of the premise of this book sort of gives me the Astonishing Clover After vibes, which is a book I really, really loved, and I just really need to get to this book. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet, but I need to, so hopefully I can get to it at some point this year, because I feel like it's a book that I would really enjoy, and also it's another mental health book, and I love me a good mental health book, so I'm hoping I can get to this and I think I will like it. I think I will. Next up we have Be Straight With Me by Emily Dalton, and this is a memoir written in verse. This book isn't currently out when I'm filming this video, it probably will be out by the time you get to this, but I came across this on a poetry Instagram account and I read what it was about, and all I need to know about it were the first few lines of the description, and I was just like, I need to read this book. So this is about a young straight woman who finds herself in a serious relationship with her gay male best friend. That is all I needed to know about this book. I've never heard, obviously this is a memoir, so it's real life, and it just sounds so interesting and so just something that I've never heard about being written in a book before. It says it's a unforgettable memoir in verse about a love that blurs the boundaries of gender and sexuality, and this just sounds like such an awesome book. It's a subject, or like I guess a concept I've never heard about before. Obviously I guess it exists in the world, but it just sounds so interesting and so fascinating. And I have read one memoir in verse before, which I did enjoy, but I'd like to read this and see what I think. I feel like it'd be a very eye-opening and important book, and yeah, I just need to read it, so it's another one added to my wish list. Next up we have Bloom by Kevin Panetta, and this is a graphic novel. I have quite a few graphic novels I really want to get to. This is the only one on this list, I think. And this, all I know about it is that it has LGBTQ+ rep, and there is a bakery involved, like I feel like a bread bakery, and that's all I need to know. I've heard good things about it. I don't need to know any more. Apart from that, I don't want to know any more. I'm really hoping that I will be able to read this for the reading rush this year. Obviously they've not announced the challenges quite yet, but once they do, I'm really hoping that I can fit this and quite a few other graphic novels into it, because it's a good chance for me to kind of just get on top of graphic novels and a good excuse. And this just seems like a really cute, lovely, heartwarming book, and obviously it's got baking in it, so like you can guarantee that I need to read this. Next up we have another book that's probably one of the top on this list. I found it totally on a whim and now I really need to read it, and that is A Theatre for Dreamers by Polly Samson. And I came across this when I was just browsing the Waterstones website one day. I came across this book, it looked interesting, I read the blurb, and like now I need to read it. It's kind of hard to explain what this book is about. It is, I think it's historical fiction, and it's set in Italy, and it is about this like community of artists. It's very under A Dancing Star by Laura Wood vibes. I think I will read, yes, it's set in 1960 and it says, "The world is dancing on the edge of revolution, and nowhere more so than on the Greek island of Hydra, where a circle of poets, painters and musicians live tangled lives." And I really did not read that description very well, but this just sounds so amazing. 1960s Greece, I think. Yeah, it's Greek. I thought it was Italy, but it's Greece. So 1960s Greece with loads of artists and poets and writers, just chef's kiss. I need to read this book. This is definitely one of the top ones on this list, and like, yeah, I need to get to it pretty soon. Second to last book on this list is Cut When You Land by Elizabeth Azevedo, and this is a book that is one of my most anticipated releases for the year. It is actually out now. I haven't bought it yet because, like I said, I'm on a book buying ban until July, but this is definitely going to be one of the first books that I get, and I love Elizabeth Azevedo. I've read both of her books, I really enjoyed both of them, and this is a novel, one of her other novels written in verse, and I don't know much about it, apart from the fact that it is about our two main characters who have the same father but they don't know each other exist, and one day their father dies in a plane crash and then they find out about each other, and I don't know much more than that. I'm guessing it's going to tackle the topic of grief, obviously, because they have both just lost somebody very near and dear to them, but I don't know anything else. I don't want to know anymore, and I feel like I am going to enjoy it. The synopsis doesn't draw me in as much as her other books have, but I'm still definitely going to read it. I think I will enjoy it, and yeah, it's just a book I need to get to. Definitely one of the more like popular or well-known books on this list, but another one that I just cannot wait to get to and see what I think. And the last book on this list is one that I've mentioned quite a couple of times on my channel now, which is Wonderland by Juno Dawson. And like I have said in previous videos, I have been wanting to read a Juno Dawson book for ages. I don't know why, I just haven't got around to it yet. I just haven't, which is kind of annoying. But this is Juno's latest book. It is out at the end of May, so probably the week that I'm filming this I think it is coming out. And I don't know much about it, apart from the fact that number one, this is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and number two, it talks about like privilege, mental health and identity, and that is all I need to know. I know it's been great. I've heard so many good things about Juno's books. I want to read all of them, and I will eventually, but yeah, I will get to this book this year. I'm determined to. Again, it's probably going to be one of the first ones that I get once I let off my book buying ban. I'm hoping to go and buy it when the bookshops open. I don't know when that's going to be. Maybe this summer, by the end of the summer, I'm going to go to the bookshop and just buy myself a load of books, because, like, you know, treat yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just thought it'd be fun. Like, I've discovered quite a few of these books fairly recently and I just wanted to talk about them. So a couple of them, or quite a few of them, are books that I've never heard about before until fairly recently, and they just seem like so much fun. There is actually quite a few adult books on here as well, which is rather exciting. But yeah, I'm really excited to hopefully get to these books eventually, once I let myself off this book buying ban and once the bookshops reopen, because I'm trying not to buy any books online at the moment. So yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books and your opinions on them, or are there any of these books that you would be interested in reading. I would love to know as always. If you like this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more bookish videos from me, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so you'll be noted every time I post a new video. As always, I will leave links to my social media along with the links to my Goodreads in the description down below for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!